Welcome to Keep
Snacking. Season 3. Whoop, whoop,
We
whoop,
did it.
We made it. We made
Yeah.
it to season 3. It's amazing.
By the skin of our teeth, as I always like to say.
I mean, and it was no surprise. Why am I surprised that one of us had technical difficulties on the first day of the new season? Because that's life.
That's life.
I think it was me last time too. It was like green face, right, or something when we kicked off.
I mean,
season
I don't
2.
want to say it, but it's usually Lauren. I mean, but that's
Here's the
okay,
thing
'cause
about
I
it
love
being
you.
me. Here's the thing about it being me. My life is very mobile, and so I've done this podcast all over the planet.
Yeah.
However, I did not
over
move.
the planet.
I mean, it's what it feels like. I'm always like toting this laptop around. But since Simona was here for the final episode in person, I have not touched the equipment. But we had a bad cord, you guys, and
it was haunted.
It was haunted. So we got rid of it. Luckily, I found one that was comparable, and we're rocking and rolling. We're back to it.
Rocking and rolling on this podcast. Sorry, not time for Christmas.
You know what? I know you don't like
Christmas.
Grease. You don't like Grease, but it goes. They said rocking and rolling and whatnot.
I don't like Grease.
That's one of the lines from Grease. Every time I hear that, that's what I think of. Kaniki says that. Anyway, thank you guys for being here, for eating snacks with us.
Yeah, being with us for season 3.
Being with us through this whole journey. This has truly been a pandemic podcast. We started it at a distance. We're keeping it moving at a distance. What a treat to have the final episode in person of season 2. Hope you guys enjoyed that. We had a really good trip. Simona's visit felt like a trip for me because I was like taking it easy a little bit too. So we had a fabulous.
It was definitely rejuvenating.
Yeah, it was. It was good before the holidays got nutburger. And January we've just decided was awful.
Yeah. 2022 has not been an amazing year so far.
So we're really banking on Feb. We're doing this early Feb, or it's almost mid Feb. I can't even believe that. But we are fresh on the heels of Valentine's Day. We're not doing a Valentine's episode. So to everybody who's celebrating that, even myself who's celebrating it, Valentine's has just never been my favorite. It's just a very commercial.
I mean, I like the chocolate.
Yeah, we like the candy and we like it cheap. We like the discount version like we did in an Audible last year. But we just so this season we want to try new things.
Right.
And we were like, Valentine's Day.
Well, we did the discount Valentine's Day candy stuff before.
Right.
So what were you going to do? Eat another heart-shaped Reese's? I hated those.
Hated it. I can't. That's hilarious. I hated those. I only want the them. Easter egg ones. Well, but she even thinks it's too much peanut butter. Yeah, she likes the reg. I like the Easter ones. I like the Easter ones.
Yeah, but fuck those hearts. Those are the worst.
And that's Reese's. It's saying something. Like, that's a big statement.
Yeah. Get Will Arnett on the horn. Those are awful. I really don't like the heart-shaped ones. I don't.
She doesn't. It's too much peanut butter. It's the ratio, everyone. It's not that she doesn't like a Reese's.
Yeah, there's like no chocolate. It's like then get a peanut butter heart. Ew. I mean, like I like peanut butter, but not like that. Like not
that's
like
chalky peanut butter by itself. Nobody wants chalky peanut butter by themselves.
No.
No. And we're doing this on a Friday night, not in our normal morning cast. So I feel like whenever we do them after work on a Friday, we're both like loopy-loos. So ride this one out with us.
I mean, this is like the definition of insanity, because I don't know what you guys don't know, the pain that we go through, that when we record these, we are always hearing it on a delay with each other because of Zoom, and it doubles up. It's an echo delay nonsense.
It sounds like we're at a stadium and like we hear the commentator and then it's like all of that delay in the background, or we're in a canyon or something. And
the things we do for our art.
Zamboni. Yeah, things we do for all of you guys. And this next, we took Zamboni's collar off, and he is now just laying under the bed. So I don't know if that made him feel like I'm disowning him. He's going through attachment.
Maybe he
issues.
hates the collar. Maybe he acts up more because of the collar. He doesn't like the jingle jangleness.
Or he's hiding because he's like, she's gonna give me
away. Maybe, yeah. He's like, oh, if the collar's off, she's kicking me out.
The thing about a pandemic animal, and I hope I just digress for 2 seconds on this, they don't know life too much without you. And so if you got a puppy or a kitten or something during that time, the separation anxiety is pretty real with them. Yeah. You're just around more. You're doing, and you're even taking them places more because you're still like, what are you doing? Walk outside. You're gonna do something outside. So like usually an animal can come. So he doesn't know what to do with himself right now because I was away from him for a very short period of time under the bed, freaking out.
An hour.
Yeah, it was like an hour, some change.
So wait, did we talk about what we're eating for snacks today?
We didn't talk about it, but I do think, can you just preface like some of the things that we've discussed that we want to do this season? Because this season we actually got really pumped when we did our planning sesh for this season. And I'm gonna let Simona just explain it real fast, just the elevator speech of it.
Okay, I think I got through all of that echo. So basically, we really wanted to do like a new thesis of snacks that we haven't ever tried. And what we've realized is that falls under lots of different categories. Mm-hmm. So today, for example, we're doing movie theater snacks that we've never tried. So obviously we've done movie theater snacks before, our favorites, but now we're going to try the things that we see when we go to the theater and we're like, oh, I'm not going to get that because I don't know what that is, or I've never had it. And then we'll probably like delve into maybe some different cultures and things that we've wanted to try in different cultures. So bear with us. And, we're going to be as sensitive as we can, because we love everybody's culture and we want to explore it. That's why we want to eat these snacks. And then also just anything we haven't had in general. So basically, in a nutshell, that was not an elevator pitch. We're trying different snacks, different categories,
things that have never touched our taste buds individually before. Some cases it's going to be thematic. Some cases it's going to be like today's thematic, but other cases it's going to be something neither one of us has ever tried. And I think it's real interesting when we discuss this, there was a lot of commonplace items that we realized like, oh, they exist in this world. Maybe we weren't the target audience for them. We definitely have seen them before, et cetera, et cetera. And the only other one I'll throw in there is that there are celebrity snacks that exist too. Companies that celebrities own. That,
or just our spokespeople of too.
Yes. So we wanted to do some episodes of those as well. So we're super pumped about this season. Things could go south fast because we don't have a idea of a profile. Some of them we do, and today we kind of do. So we're doing, Simona said, we're doing movie theater snacks today, which I think we're both super excited about because again, these are in the family of snacks that we would have in a movie theater, but like they're there, you take them for granted because you end up having your favorites. And you gravitate towards your favorites, I think is typically the way we go. So that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. Do you want to do facts? Do you
Yeah,
want me
so
to do
I
my
actually
snack?
I found a great article on Bon Appetit by Rachel Friedman, who I believe has done, we've read her facts before, and Bon Appetit we've definitely quoted before. And it's a history of movie theater snacks in America. So we're focusing in America. We live in America. So like I feel like it's okay to focus on that. And it correlates a lot towards wars and big financial things that happen in the US too. So there's a lot of facts in here. I'm not going to read every single thing verbatim, but let's start with some facts and then we'll sprinkle in and then we'll probably finish with facts because there's quite a few. Is that cool?
Sounds great.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that sounds great.
Awesome. So the Nickelodeons that popped up in small towns across the US in the 1900s offered 5-cent silent movies with live accompaniment piano or organ. So this was a silent movie era. And the Nickelodeon was the smaller version before you went to go to a movie theater. So they date back to this, which is very interesting in the 1900s. There was no food, but instead patrons purchased food and drinks from nearby restaurants and carried their stash with them. It says in brazen violation of the rules for no outside food or drink.
Not so different from today, I would
right?
say.
Which is so funny to me. But it's interesting because even then people were like, I'm gonna watch something, I want a snack. So they've always gone hand in hand. In the 20s and 30s, Nickelodeons were replaced with movie theaters. They were European inspired palaces with their marble lined hallways, the crystal chandeliers. You saw like the velvet, they had these, you still see some of them in New York too, in older cities and big ones that have restored them, but they did have this emulation of palaces, which I thought was kind of interesting. And people still smuggled food in. Some of the right. most popular to smuggle in at the time were Baby Ruth bars.
I love a Baby Ruth.
Yeah, and Baby Ruth bars. They threw this fact in here too, which I learned this at a very young age because I think I asked the question, is that named after Babe Ruth? But the answer is no, it is named after Grover Cleveland's daughter.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember asking my grandma that question and she actually knew that fact. So other candies that appeared during this time in 1925, we had Goobers, Milk Duds 26, Raisinets 1927, and what you got, like my snack dates so far back, not the one I'm trying, but my snack, the nonpareil, the large nonpareil, 1922. And
wait, but did you say Milk Duds though? Because that's mine.
Milk Duds is yours, is in 26, and mine is in 22. So we both have two classic. And then of course, at the same time, licorice. Simona's favorite. And if you haven't heard our licorice Twizzlers versus Red Vines episode from season 1, it's a good episode though.
It is. There's a clear winner there.
There's a clear winner, and the conviction that Simona had in this episode, I don't think I've seen against any other food than maybe the Reese's at the beginning of this one. It's serious. Like, if you
guys, please check it out.
It's a good one. I'm gonna throw, like, maybe I'll even post something about that on social because it's a funny. I mean, we're funny anyway, but like that one we went in with the mission because we did a versus, and holy cannoli, it was. Yeah.
And I didn't see it coming, guys.
I didn't see it coming either. I mean, I knew she didn't love licorice, but this went sideways fast. Like, she made some bold statements in that episode. I remember listening to it afterward being like, this went, I mean,
I mean, the
don't give this
licorice
girl licorice,
lobbyist.
period.
Well, you know, I like my fake licorice, the Australian one.
Right. We know, yes.
But the licorice lobbyists are going to come after me. You know, it's just like, you know, I assume that they've got as much power as the NRA.
I think they do. You know, that might say something a lot. Like, that's a dating profile thing. Which licorice do you prefer? And Simona's.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I don't really like either.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's the right answer for you is none.
Trick question.
It's a trick question. 100%.
Well, I like the Australian one a lot. So if they were to say the Australian one, I'd be like, oh, well, let's get married.
But I would say that's not licorice. Like, based on what it's made of.
But it says licorice.
It 100% says it, but it's not. It's just a candy. It's a good candy, but it's just a candy. I mean,
it's just like a hard gummy candy, like a hard stale gummy candy.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is, which is actually what I think I'm trying. All right, I'm gonna hit with just the Great Depression, which basically was like nothing. Like, they tough times. Cinema owners needed cash to stay afloat, which meant no longer had the luxuries of ignoring movie refreshments. At first, they simply installed candy dispensers, or sold rather than gave away space to those vendors. But at this point, it was like a free for all. So if you could afford to go to the movie, you know, dope. But the concession at this point in time did start to sell popcorn.
Ooh.
So you saw that happened around the Great Depression time. It was easy to store. It was cheap. It was cheap to produce. Americans swallowed it by the bucket full. Ain't that the truth? So that's,
and they must have had beverages as well. If you're gonna have popcorn, you have to have soda.
Yeah, they don't talk too much about beverages in this, but again, I think, you know, the concessions were still very basic too, or they had these vending. I think you could even get popcorn in some of these in vendors. So it's just interest in vending machines. So until they didn't really have like restaurantees or some like real true concessions yet in the situation. So we'll stop there before we hit post-war, but it's almost like from the dawn of it, people wanted to snack, and the candies that they did have in the early 20s, you still see today in the movie theater. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, obviously they've evolved, but you know, we're going back still very far in history, and you saw that kind of stuff. So super interesting. Would you like to go first, Simona?
Oh, sure. So the snack that I always see in movie theaters is Jujubes, but I think really they're now Juji Fruits, because there aren't really Jujubes anymore, but this is what I imagined.
But there is one Jujube, and she is a drag queen, and we
yes. So this I've never tried before. So it's Juji Fruits, and it just says Juji Fruits come in 5 delicious fruity flavors: lime, raspberry, lemon, orange, and anise, aka licorice. Fuck this. That was quite the shocker. Okay.
I was surprised you wanted to try it, but I thought you knew it was.
I didn't know. This is why I get
you guys, here we go. We're about to be on a rant.
And it says chewy fruity candy. So I assume that they're going to be a little bit harder texture than like a gummy. So
what is the pink? The ones that look like pills? It's like a pink and a white and a
Good and Plenty. We had those on our show.
Those are licorice-y.
Yeah, those aren't. I mean, I don't love those at all, but but
they have anise in them, so it's not
yeah.
I believe I've had Jujubes before, or whatever, Juji Fruits,
Juji
Fruits, whatever the heck they're called now. They I don't feel like they're as overwhelming. I feel like they're like
I don't think it'll be unmanageable. And like, you know, I'll eat Good and Plenty, like, because you know, I like to pretend that my candy is
right.
pills.
She likes to have medicine, right?
Yeah.
This could be like a vitamin.
Right. Like, this is a gummy vitamin. Now look, I can't even find this dark black Juji fruit. Like it's mostly like rainbow colored. I don't see
Mhm.
the black, the dark horse.
I love the box of this. I want to talk real fast, and if you're not watching the YouTubes, like the box is such a bright, happy yellow.
It is. It is.
And it doesn't, and I feel like it hasn't, besides the name changing a little bit, it hasn't changed like the simplified look and feel of the actual box. So I like that. I hate when they put too many graphics and there's too much going on. I kind of like especially my movie theater candy. I like it to be what I know it to be,
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't change that on us. We got too much change going on in our lives.
Oh my God. It's like impossible. I'm just like, okay, finally I got a black one. All right. I just dumped them on my table. This table.
Do they stick together in the box? Explain.
No, because they have an opaque
finish.
The feel of it is not like it's like a dull, it's not shiny really. It's more dull and it's not sticky, it's not tacky.
And they're circular, right? Or kind of like
it will be very similar to how your Swedish fish feel.
Oh, well, that's what I'm trying, everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for anybody who knows what a Swedish fish texture is, like it's got the opaque, it's not shiny. This is exactly the same thing. So should I do the anise flavor?
So she went right in for the caca flavor in her profile.
I had to dig. I dig.
I mean, I would go.
Let me try a good one first.
What is the nose?
There's like no nose.
Okay. So we're eating plastic.
Like yeah. It smells like my perfume.
Which means that's either your hand or you're putting poison in your body.
I think it's my hand. I'm going to try, I guess, the orange one. Okay.
Okay. So it's going to take out your filling. Does it feel like it's going to take out your filling? Okay,
no.
Good.
But it tastes like soap. It tastes like soap.
Okay.
It tastes like soap, guys. This is awful. All right, I'm going to try the bad one now because that was orange. I thought.
What was the shape of that one? The other one?
It looked kind of like.
That was longer than.
This is what is this, a Lego? Like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Looks like a big jelly bean with zit.
It's like half eaten, dinosaur looking ish, Lego looking, could be a crown. I don't know. It's like, what is this? What is this?
And that one is circular. Yeah.
Looks kind of like a flower.
Mm-hmm. They have like these raised bumps on them.
Yeah. It's going to taste like licorice soap. All right, here we go.
Licorice soap. She's going to like this one better because it actually has a flavor. I know it.
Yeah.
I called it.
Mm-hmm. It's not, it tastes like anise. It's doable. Like Simona.
Well, I think the idea is to
you'll die. And I do that.
I think the idea is to eat multiple together.
All right. If that's what you want me to do.
I mean, that's what I think.
I'll do what I hope to be a lemon and not soap. I'll do lime together. And I'll do the red.
All right, go for it.
I'm giving it the college try here.
Looks like it's like a salad.
I can taste the lemon mostly, and it tastes like lemon.
Okay.
So that's good. But very like, now it tastes like soap.
So
it tastes like my body lotion.
Are we just sure you don't have too much of it on your hands?
No, I didn't lotion up before this.
Oh. Her face is she's making
also a scrunch. Be very
nose.
Could be like scrunch. Partially my COVID,
But you're mostly better. I mean,
I still I just learned to deal with, this.
But I mean, when you were here,
Yeah, but
You
like
definitely
when
have-
my dad's been cooking a lot and I just like don't even know what he's cooking because I can't figure out, it's that same weird overarching smell. Now, it doesn't taste as much like soap as that one orange did,
the
but
orange is definitely soap, everybody. Like your dial soap.
yeah. So I have this like lotion that's like a CBD like grassy one. It actually
Oh, is
smells
it
really
like
good.
Irish
But
Spring soap?
no. No, but it reminds me of that lotion, and I will not eat these ever again. Unless again they were like, Simona, you have to eat these, otherwise you'll die.
Then
Then
we'll
I
eat
eat
them.
them. Yeah.
Like a matrix situation. We have to take certain pill colors. We'll take.
Well,
But
yeah. I mean, if they were like, you can eat these and you'll be enlightened and see that the world isn't really the world, I'd be like, I'm staying in the matrix. Sorry.
plus it tastes like soap. Well, it tastes like soap, everybody. That's
Do not get Juji Fruits. They're much better options if you want some gummy things. In fact, I think Swedish Fish is a better option, even though Swedish Fish is one flavor.
yeah, I think it's funny that I've never tried a Swedish Fish with my affinity for gummy like candy. I just feel like it's too big of a like when I've seen people eat. So I don't know that I think I just wouldn't like it. And so I never gravitated towards it. Plus we also know I really like the sour, and I also am a bigger fan of like lemon. And so
I don't think you're gonna be wowed by it because personally there's not much to be wowed by.
Yeah, I mean when your standard is a non-Perel and a Sour Patch.
Big kids.
Oh, I have to do a shout out though to Brian. We have not been able to find the big kids, right? Like we've talked about this. We were afraid they're like, he found them and ordered a big bag, 2 big bags of the big kids.
Wow.
So we haven't been able to find them in stores, but if you're craving big kids,
you have to order them.
You have
Amazon?
to order them. I think he ended up finding them. It was either Target.com or Walmart.com. It was one of like the 2 stores that you could find them in 2020. But as 2021 was growing, I saw them less and less. So hopefully they end up in stores more again and they start producing them more because they were new. They like launched them and the pandemic happened. And so like I feel like they missed
big
their
kids
heyday.
are just amazing.
Oh,
the big kids are
divine.
amazing.
You need like 3 of them and you're satisfied. I never have had a candy where I have felt so satisfied by like the tiniest bit of it because it's just they're so sour. They're so good. When they're fresh and they're soft. Soft. I can't even. All right, we're gonna go back into facts really fast. But anyway, that's a tidbit. If you do want them, you have to order them, but it's worth it. Okay. And thank you, Brian, for
Brian is her partner, if you didn't catch on.
Yeah, and he bought them. I will say this, because he ate all my Sour Patch Kids that I had in my house.
Well, and remember, he also tried to eat my Milk Duds.
He likes to try to eat my candy. Yeah, he tried to.
Lauren gave me a big bag of trick or treat Milk Duds, and like I came home, and she told me that Brian was trying to eat some.
He did.
So luckily, but I had the lion's share here. I brought it home, and I think I ate it all in 2 days.
That's amazing. Well, and it was all because we had several conversations about you eating through the candy at work too.
Oh yeah,
so,
yeah.
I bought a couple of the variety packs that had Milk Duds in them, and I pulled the Milk Duds from them.
Oh, you did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like an effort. And then I had them all in the bag. I gave them to you, and I saw him holding one, and I was like, "No, what are you doing?"
Was that his first one, or was that the first one you noticed?
I think it was his first one because he had eat all the Heath bars.
Oh, right, Heath are great
his
too.
favorite. But that's why I got one of the mixes had actually your favorite in it and his favorite in it.
Well, I have a question for him for you to ask him.
Okay.
Like Heath bar versus a Score bar.
I think he's going to still say Heath, but I will ask.
Okay. I think you should do a taste test.
Okay.
You know how I feel about those. Like those are the only true way of knowing.
Yeah, that's very true. Maybe we'll make him do one on his Insta.
Yeah.
But yeah, so first he did something terrible, which was eat all eat all of mine, normal sized one. And to make up for it, he ordered the big one. So I guess, thank you, but you still did something bad. Anyway, so it negates it all. It's whatever, but we found out that you can order them.
You just have to replace. Look, if you're going to eat my shit, you just have to replace.
Yeah.
And he did that.
And he did it. He elevated it. So
elevated it.
Right.
Elevated
because
it.
he found the big one.
Level up.
Level up. Level up.
Yeah.
Level up. Level up. Okay. So post-war, in the middle of the century, moviegoers' options expanded to junior mints, named for Junior Miss, a Broadway play turned radio show starring Shirley Temple.
Okay.
I loved Shirley Temple when I was a kid,
she was very talented. I mean, nobody's like, my whole thing is just like, why don't you just call them Shirley Mints? Like junior mints.
Yeah,
like
why
we're not gonna know. We're not gonna know. Come on.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to make it abstract. I don't know. Also Gummy Dots. Gummy Dots will take out your fillings. Dots or M&Ms also arrived during this time. Having found initial success with American GIs in World War II, who received the melt in your mouth, not in your hands treat as part of their rations. Interesting.
Oh.
And then we hit the 70s and the Sour Patch Kids appeared.
Psychedelic.
I know. At first known as Mars Men to cash in on. Oh, they were called Mars Men first? We didn't know this.
Oh, they've really rebranded.
Yeah.
From like Martians to horrible children.
Right. UFOs is what I just said. UFO. This is a Friday night. UFO sightings was like a big thing at the time.
I mean,
then
it still is.
Well, but I mean, like in the cinema and stuff too. Then in the 80s, the makers decided to cash out on the Cabbage Patch Kid craze. We read that. Ugh. We read that in our history. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the kids were all the sour, Cabbage Patch, but also like Garbage Pail. Hello?
Garbage Pail. Hello. They need to remake that movie. That movie was terrible. They need to make that one.
Oh,
better.
I didn't see that movie. I just remember the cars.
You should watch it.
I can't watch it.
It'll make you throw up. It will. It made me. I think I threw up after watching it. Late to movie candy games in 78 were Reese's Pieces, which is also one of my favorites. E.T. made that popular. Skittles, which were imported from Europe. Taste the rainbow.
Okay, I could see that. Like they have those. They have candy. Like they have.
Europe has candy.
That's what I'm trying to say, but I feel like Skittles is like of the ilk of these British people's candies. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Like they've got Smarties there, but their Smarties are different than our Smarties that are reminiscent of pills. To me,
which he didn't like that. He doesn't like you talking about pills. Zamboni.
He doesn't like that I pretend to be a drug addict.
He does.
Just catch me on Euphoria next season.
Oh, that last episode was a lot. That I have thoughts. I have to go to therapy after watching one of those episodes. It's just a lot.
I'm over it. I think it needs to be done.
I'm over it after this last episode because she did such a great job and I think she hit rock bottom. So I just want to know, is she gonna die or is she gonna live? And then I think we can
I think she should die. Like that's what I feel like. I'm like this. We're seeing her. She's got to die. Okay, sorry guys.
This was a big. She hit a big low in this last episode, and it was exhausting to watch. But the acting was great. Zendaya did a great job. Okay,
we love Zendaya.
Yeah, she's beautiful too. Today, cinemas have moved way beyond popcorn and candy, and half-gallon sodas is what she writes. Hot dog, cheese drenched nachos, ice cream have been staples in chain theaters. Indie theaters, meanwhile, sell freshly baked sweets, specialty coffees, and wine and beer at times. They actually call out Nighthawk, which is a movie theater in Brooklyn that I've been to a couple times. And they're calling it out because their food, just as seriously as their films, offering movie tie-in theaters like Django Unchained themed meals of shrimp and grits. So like they work with local restaurants in Brooklyn to do themed meals and things like that. They talk about there's a place in Arizona called iPic Theater in Scottsdale, Arizona. Patrons can opt for gold class seating, which includes reclining seats, a pillow, and a blanket, free popcorn, and an opportunity for order wine from 130 bottle list. Holy cannoli.
I just want to know how clean those blankets and pillows are.
Yeah, that sounds gross, right? I guess after COVID too. This was definitely written before COVID. Nighthawk was a cool venue. They did a lot of screenings there too, and then like had like a document, like the people who made the documentary or who were in the documentary were at it. So
they had like panels and stuff.
Yeah, that's when I would go there. And it was in a fun place, like next to a lot of nice bars and stuff too. But anyway, like and I would say probably after this, then you started getting the movie theaters that serves you dinner, which I hate.
I don't love it.
I've been,
here's the thing. I went the first time I went, and it was a horrible experience. I went to go see Black Panther with my then boyfriend. Okay. I love a Marvel movie. I always go to the theater like these. I've seen every one of them. They're very important to me. So we go and we're doing this new dine-in theater. And then, so we order it and then you go sit and they deliver it. Right.
Well, I've been to ones where they have a waiter, which is a whole nother thing. You don't order for, yeah.
Yes. So like in this one, you order ahead. They didn't have a waiter or whatever. So the whole fucking movie, we are waiting for our food. And can you understand how that feels like? I'm not enjoying the movie.
Right. You're stressed out. I was going to say it's a stressful experience.
I don't like it at all. I never again. I was like, this is a horrible experience. I'm trying to enjoy my Marvel movie and I can't because it's like stupid people didn't even deliver my food. And then he's getting like upset because he knows I'm upset. And so like neither of us can relax. And it was awful. Cannot recommend.
It's hard too, because then they're delivering your food in the dark.
Yes.
And
you're not like your attention is going there. And then other people are ordering stuff. They're coming in and out.
Like wine and beer situation. I'm down for that. And I think even like an elevated dessert would be cool, or elevated snacks would be cool. But the second I have a waiter in front of me and then I'm sitting at the end by the wall, I saw the first Wonder Woman in Austin and went with a coworker and her family. And I was the one by the wall furthest away. And then I remember leaning, trying to tell the person what I'm going to get, and it's showing the previews. And then the utensils were not real utensils. And so whatever food I got, I was like, I couldn't cut it. I wasn't even thinking about like this. It's like medieval times. You're eating with your hands all of a sudden in the dark. And it's just not a fun experience. So I get like, bringing the food into the situation, but it's not if you want to keep it like a theater, it's not as a conducive space. And it just makes it difficult. And even Broadway shows too. Sometimes they're trying now to like get a little fancy with, there's no place to put your drink in some of these old
seats
theaters.
Are so small. Like my butt hardly fits.
Right. Nothing. It's like, I don't want to be carrying extra stuff unless I'm sitting like in an arena with a cup holder with some extra, like, I don't want all of this nonsense.
Well, and here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about snacks at Broadway shows. I am no longer friends with someone because they were crinkling up peanut M&M bag the whole time I was trying to watch this Broadway show.
Did this end your friendship?
Well, for me, it did. I thought she was so inconsiderate because, like, how are you not self-aware enough to know that, like, your bag is crinkling so fucking much? People around us are looking at us.
And the people on stage, you probably hear it. You're not at a movie.
Well, we didn't, we weren't that close to the stage. But I was just like, this was one of like many reasons why we're no longer friends, but it topped the list. Like it was up there in the top 3 reasons. Like I know it's hard, like enough to hear, like watching a movie and people are whispering, or God forbid they're looking at their phones. Like I cannot handle that.
Yeah,
that's
that
one
glow.
thing in a movie theater. Okay. Because you're like, yes, it's very expensive, but it's not the same as spending so much money to see like these amazing people on stage, and you're too busy eating peanut M&Ms and not understanding how much noise you're making. How can I be friends with someone like that?
Plus, a peanut M&M bag isn't that big, so like, why didn't you scarf that down during intermission if you were that hungry?
Just like the crunching, like forget about even the eating. It was like mostly the crinkling of the bag. Like if you really got to eat something, why don't you, while they're laughing or clapping, that's when you pour some in your hand.
Yeah,
and you eat those, and then
that happens a lot because they're singing songs. People stop and clap.
There's more noise, and you don't keep eating during their dialogue.
I thought it sounded a little drastic, but this is a fireable offense as a friend. I think I get it.
Thank you. You get it.
I get it. If it went on that persistently, it's too much.
Yeah, we're not friends anymore.
Wow. And on that note, let's eat some Swedish fish. So I got Swedish fish. They're distributed in New Jersey, but they're made in Turkey. I don't know why they're called Swedish fish. I didn't research our
I bet
food.
they have nothing to do with Sweden.
They probably don't, because it probably has something to do with like, Shirley Temple's mom or something.
Right. Everybody called her Swedish.
So the bag smell, I mean, this clearly has red dye number whatever in it, I'm sure. A red 40, which is probably terrible for me. It smells good, but it's, you know what it smells like? You know what it smells exactly like? Cherry
Play-Doh.
chapstick.
Oh, okay. Very distinct.
Yeah. It has a cherry chapstick smell, which I don't hate, and I don't want to eat. You know what I'm saying? But it's, you don't
want to eat like some cherry wax, but
no, but you do when you eat cherry chapstick. Like you definitely do. Especially when you were a kid and you were just like, you went in on that because it kind of looked like lipstick because it got a little dark. I was like, look at this bitch, like, fancy. It says Swedish on it.
It's got that opaqueness, right?
Yeah, and it's about the size of my thumb. I would say that's a big chewy. It's probably big kid sized.
But it looks like the size of a big kid.
Yeah, and it's textured and it looks like a fish.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is the same color, and and it is what it is. So and it also has a opaque finish.
Yes, I said that. It has an opaque finish.
They're not sticking together in the bag, right? They have whatever fake
coating.
I'm gonna go in.
Oh, she bit the head right off.
I bit the head off.
All right, she's thinking, she's pondering.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah. Okay. It has a reminiscent of, dare I even say, a Sour Patch Kid without the stuff on it. Without the sour.
So like the okay.
The gummy.
So would you say that it's like a red Sour Patch gummy?
It has a little bit of a sweet and sour taste to it, more than I thought it would. I thought I was going in and going to taste like a Twix. I mean, Twix. A Twizzler.
Okay.
Because a Twizzler doesn't have anise in it. We've discovered that, remember?
Right. The red one.
And so I thought I was going to be tasting more of like a gummy that tastes like soap, something that didn't have it and know exactly what it tastes like is a dot. It tastes like a red dot.
That's probably exactly what it is.
That's what it tastes like. It tastes like the gummy candies before they were coating them. And the accoutrement that we love so much today, which a lot of times is a sour covering.
Right.
I don't like it enough to finish the tail.
Yeah, they're not good.
And my breath all of a sudden feels disgusting. There is an
your fish breath.
There is an after. It's an after Swedish fish breath that I don't recommend kissing anybody with. It tastes terrible in my mouth right now. I don't. It tastes like my mouth has been too dry for a minute.
Oh yeah.
And so P.S. I just drank water right before I ate that, so it's not like my mouth was dry. Now dried my mouth out. I'm not kidding. I did. I took a sip of water.
That's some weird ass candy. Some gummy should not be drying out your mouth.
Sugar, invert sugar, corn syrup.
Oh God, not invert sugar again.
Modified cornstarch contains less than 2% of citric acid. That's the sour. White mineral oil, natural and artificial flavor. Red 40 and carnauba wax. That's it. That's the finish.
Yeah.
That's the caca aftertaste, I bet.
I wonder if this has carnauba wax or whatever.
Yeah, look it up.
Yep, it does. It has carnauba wax.
How do you say that? Carnauba?
I don't know. I'm saying carnauba because it's NAU.
Carnauba.
Oh, but let's see. This is basically the same thing as yours, except it doesn't have the inverted sugar in it.
What is an invert sugar?
We've talked about this.
Is this the stuff that gives you gas?
No, we've questioned it before when we've seen the ingredients, and we're like, is that opposite sugar? Like what is that?
I'm looking it up, everybody. We have a minute to look this up because this is gonna bother
my
me.
stupid Juji Fruits that taste disgusting is corn syrup, sugar, modified food starch, parentheses cornstarch, natural and artificial flavors, white mineral oil. Could be white mineral oil, because why would we? I don't think we should.
Mine has white mineral oil in it too.
Carnauba wax, caramel color, blue 1, yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5.
So the red one probably tastes just exactly the same because the blue 60 or whatever.
I don't know about this inverted sugar.
Okay, invert sugar.
I think it's just sour stuff.
It's a mixture of glucose, dextrose, and fructose produced from sugar. By application of heat and acid, sugar doctor, such as a cream of tartar or citric acid. They call a cream of tartar or citric acid a sugar doctor.
What is it? What are you reading?
I know. Am I on a porn site? Affects the sweetness and it. Okay, so what I think invert sugar does. Oh wait, what's the difference? The bigger difference might be their forms. You'll find table sugar and granulars, and invert sugar is the liquid.
Oh, okay.
But they also mix it with the sugar doctor. I'm not even making this up. It's the first thing that comes up from the Encyclopedia Britannica. I'm kidding.
So the Encyclopedia Britannica is calling cream of tartar and like citric acid sugar doctors
in quotes.
Oh, so maybe the industry calls them sugar doctors.
That's what I'm saying. Like the spin doctors, but sugar doctors.
That sounds very weird.
I think it helps make it like a gelatin form is what I am. They also make artificial honey out of invert sugar.
Why do you need to make artificial honey? Just use the real thing.
That's a great question.
I mean, unless somebody wants it to be like vegan honey, then guess what? Don't eat honey.
Yeah, get out of here. Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot on the web about invert sugar, but so that's what it is. It's, I guess the invert concept is that it's liquid, it's not granules.
Okay, then just call liquid sugar, bitches.
That sounds. That's the t-shirt for this year. Liquid sugar, bitches. Instead, it goes great with coffee or tea, but neither of these would go great with coffee or tea. Your breath would stink to high heaven if you
don't
had
eat
coffee.
these. Do not eat these at a movie theater. If this is the only option, leave. Leave. Don't subject your body to white mineral oil
and invert sugar. And if they have a menu that's bigger than 5 candies or something, you don't want to be ordering food and fighting at a Marvel movie or eating like me with my hands in the dark. Like medieval timing it at Wonder Woman. It's not worth it. Wow.
It's not cute.
Well, today sucked. I mean, no, I think I kind of thought I knew what this was going to taste like. Yours was more a surprise. I think soap was not on the menu. So Anne Annis was a surprise for her. So, if you like these, dope. Like, I'm just saying, try a Sour Patch Kid, because I think you will.
I mean, I might not be friends with you because, like, we all know I have very strong opinions. Why would you eat these? There's so many better gummy candies out there for your
maybe these people haven't had them. Like, that's the thing. Maybe they haven't. Maybe because that's what you get out. You get stuck. Well, that's what we did, and we decided bad idea to venture out in this space. But try another candy, because maybe they always ate these, and then they were like, "Oh, this is my go-to." They didn't know there was better out there.
Look, the people who are eating on these and not trying these new candies or whatever, nothing past the 70s, or I don't know, they're the same people who are like still eating Necco wafers. Okay, like Necco I can't.
Wafers, we can't.
It's not okay. It's not okay. Live a happier life. Please eat a different candy. I promise you'll be happier.
We promise. This is the first promise we've ever made. We stand by it. I also
stand by that you should not be eating white mineral oil in your body and carnauba wax.
Yeah, that wax. I bet you that's in everything that has that sheen.
I mean, finish. It's the chapstick wax, I
bet you it's in cherry chapstick.
Yeah. We've cracked the code.
We've cracked the code, everybody. Don't eat wax. And we can't wait for you to enjoy this episode. Again,
season 3 off with a bang.
Yeah, but that's what's fun about this season. We're gonna try stuff and we might not like it, and we're both going. We're accepting the challenge. And there's probably a reason why we haven't put it in our bodies before.
Yeah, we've got pretty good food instincts, so
yeah, but we're venturing and we're trying. And there was a few times that we even tried last year and we were surprised by the taste of things. And so, like that sauce from Trader Joe's, which was like a soup.
The soup.
Yeah.
Well, Katie, our listener, our one of like 3 listeners, she was like, wait a minute, I don't know. Was it a pasta sauce or a soup? Like it was a soup, right? I'm like, no, it's actually a pasta sauce that I was eating like a soup.
Yeah. And you completed like a soup, actually. You ate the whole bowl.
Yeah. Legendary.
Yeah. So, but we're open to it all. I'll also say, if you have any suggestions, we'd love to hear them, because I think we've plotted out maybe like 4 or 5 episodes after this, but we definitely have more than that to fill. We are fully capable of coming up with things on our own, but we'd love to hear your feedback. And if you are a company that would like us to try and review your foods, we are also happy to do that. We're excited that we've had some people reach out to us recently, so we have some of that in the works. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. We will always try your food. We will be honest about it, but we will try it. And we will dedicate an episode to it if you would like to give it to us.
Yes.
So I guess until next time,
Keep